Good evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila, and the summer solstice is about an hour away from right now. So summer will officially be here in exactly 1 hour and 11 minutes. That's when the sun's rays are directly over the Tropic of Cancer. So I'm going to explain this to you here. So the Tropic of Cancer is at 23.5 degrees north latitude. And at 9:41, the sun's rays are directly over the Tropic of Cancer. And that's what officially brings in northern hemisphere summer. That's because of the Earth's tilt. Again, it's tilted 23.5 degrees. So the northern and southern hemisphere are tilted toward or away, depending on the time of the year, from the sun at different times of the year, which is why obviously we see summer when the southern hemisphere sees winter and vice versa. So during the summer solstice for the northern hemisphere, the 23.5 degree tilt north is facing directly toward the sun. That's where at high noon, the sun will be directly overhead, no shadow. Okay, so we don't live far enough south to actually have that here. So the sun's always kind of just, not due above our head. It always is going to be a little bit off the norm there, off the top. This gives us our longest amount of daylight of the year, 14 hours, 18 minutes, and 44 seconds. So after today, days will gradually get shorter until the winter solstice, December 21st. Felt like summer today. High was 95. That's pretty close to the norm. The norm is 92. Now, starting tomorrow, the normal climbs up to 93. The record is 104, set back in 1953. And actually, I want to go back and show you this. The low this morning was 79. That's the thing this time of the year. When you have high humidity, it's really hard to cool off. Okay, and the reason is the moisture in the air really makes it harder for the air to cool off during the night because the moisture holds in the warmth. So as we get into the overnight hours, when you have these higher dew points, it's really hard to break 78, 79. Tonight we'll get into the middle and upper 70s, which is still warmer than the normal. Outside now it's 90, feels like 95. There is heat all over the country. It's not just us. So I have a friend that lives in Phoenix. Yesterday they hit 117 and he was complaining today that the heat is excessive. They have excessive heat warnings there in Phoenix, where it's 115 today. All across the United States, extreme heat warnings from Minneapolis down to Omaha. That's where they're expecting heat index values up to 110 degrees this weekend. And that'll go into Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, up through Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin. These areas highlighted are actually going to be hotter than us in North Texas. So count your blessings, I guess. Kind of weird, right? We'll have heat index values close to 100, and I'll have that forecast in a second. But check this out. Extreme heat watch in effect for all of Ohio and then into New England, New York City, Boston, Providence, Rhode Island, Philadelphia, eastern parts of Pennsylvania, the western part of Pennsylvania, northeastern Indiana, Detroit, all under extreme heat watch because heat indices in those areas, which for us in North Texas doesn't sound like much, but the heat index could be up to 105, 106 Monday and Tuesday, and the highs, just to give you an example, up to 100 degrees. That includes New York City. They're expected to break record heat Monday and Tuesday with high temperatures again, close to 100. For more on the heat, here's this.
Extreme temperatures are forecast to hit the United States this weekend, impacting tens of millions from the Midwest to the Northeast, according to the National Weather Service.
But this is not your run-of-the-mill hot summer week. We're facing 4 to 5 straight days of blistering hot heat.
A potent and widespread heat dome is expected to send thermometers soaring. Many places are expected to see highs in the low to mid-90s, but it will feel hotter with a heat index how it actually feels outside, including humidity in the triple digits. More than 250 daily temperature records could be broken on Monday and Tuesday.
Heat and humidity are a dangerous combination.
Chicago preparing for the potential threat as it nears the 30th anniversary of its July 1995 heat wave that led to more than 700 heat-related deaths in the city.
It really challenged the city to recognize the danger of extreme heat so that we never see a tragedy like that occur again. We do have cooling locations all over the city. We have street outreach workers that are available as well to connect the unhoused Chicagoans with those resources.
Weather officials warning those experiencing days of potentially record-breaking temperatures will see little relief at night.
When you factor in the humidity, which is going to stay the same through this whole heat wave, the heat index, what it feels like, is going to feel like it's greater than 80 degrees through the whole heat wave for more than 72 hours.
Government and health leaders encouraging people to do everything they can to stay cool and to check on friends, neighbors, and family members, especially seniors. In Washington, Michael Yoshida reporting.
So dangerous heat wave setting up for parts of the Midwest and the Northeast while temperatures here stay close to normal. Rainfall starts to dip below normal. I want to give you a rainfall update. This month we picked up just under 2 inches of rain, which isn't so bad. We're actually running a little bit below normal. So for the month, we're about 2/3 of an inch below normal. As we look at this year, we're still doing all right here. 20.33 inches of rain on the year, which is 1.2 inches above the normal. June, and I think this is interesting. So the faucet really does shut off in the middle of summer. June is our 3rd wettest month on average, but then following that, July and August, those are our 2 driest months on average. So it's good to kind of get that surplus built in May and June, because as we get into July and August, these are very dry months for North Texas. So it's hard to play catch up once you get into July and August. And you kind of see hints of that happening here as we are in the middle of June. We have big area of high pressure and control across the state of Texas, so we're dry. As we head through the rest of tonight, we stay dry. We're going to have partly cloudy skies this evening, turning mostly clear overnight, then back to partly cloudy early tomorrow morning. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. A little bit of cloud cover will stream in here from the south, and then as we go throughout the day, mostly sunny skies. It's going to look a lot like the last several days. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. 96 in Dallas, 94 in Fort Worth, 93 Waxahachie, 95 in McKinney, 93 in Terrell, Canton 91, Mineola 91, 97 in Haskell, and then you factor in the humidity. Like we just showed you, interestingly enough, these numbers are actually not going to be as hot as parts of the Midwest and New England going through this weekend and early next week, but nonetheless, it's still hot. It's still hot and humid. 101 in Terrell, that'll be the heat index tomorrow afternoon. 101 in Greenville, 98 in Athens, 100 in Canton, 101 Mineral Wells, 102 in Granbury, and 100 in Hillsboro. This is it. The next 5 days are going to be so similar to the last several. We are going to hover right around 95 to 96 degrees, which is 2 to 3 degrees hotter than the normal of 93. And the heat index values stay the same, 100 to 103, somewhere in that range for North Texas as we go through the next 5 days. Even beyond that, we don't really see much of a shift. Tonight, mostly clear skies, 77, warm, muggy, breezy at times. Tomorrow, 96. Mostly sunny skies, hot and humid with a heat index up to 101. Winds are out of the south tomorrow, 15 to 25. So it is a little bit on the breezy side as we go throughout the day tomorrow. 14-day forecast, steady temps, warm, highs mid-90s. We'll call it hot. Why not? And we have a little chance for a shower or thunderstorm June 26th. So next Thursday, a little shot of rain as we go beyond that. Like I showed you, July and August are 2 driest months on average. And as you look at those rain chances, you can kind of see that. Minimal rain chances as we go through the next 2 weeks. But then we get to the 4th of July, which falls on a Friday this year. So that will extend the weekend for a lot of folks. There's a low chance for a shower or thunderstorm that Friday for 4th of July. And I want to give you one last update on our lake levels before I let you return to regular programming here on WFAA+. As you start approaching the holiday weekend next week, no, 2 weekends from now, I guess I should say, for July 4th. Lake levels looking really good across North Texas, from Grapevine Lake to Lake Louisville, Lavon, Joe Pool, a lot of these at conservation level or a couple of feet above conservation level, thanks to all the rain that we saw in the early part of spring. Pat Mays Lake, Cooper Lake, Bodark, Tawakoni, Lake Fork, Cypress, all sitting above conservation levels. Lake Jacksonville, Richland Chambers, Navarro Mills, Bardwell, 3.5, Waxahachie, 17 feet above conservation. And then we look at Squaw Creek Reservoir sitting 1 above, Lake Whitney and Lake Leon right at 0, so normal. And then we get into Weatherford Lake, 1/2 foot, Mineral Wells, 1/2 foot, and Lake Graham, 1 foot. So again, as you go through the next couple of weekends, it's going to be hot and humid. A lot of you out on area lakes. Lake levels are looking good here in North Texas. Thanks for joining us here on WFAA+. We'll see you next time.